Okay, hello. My hair is a mess right now. Don't make fun of it too much. I have not. I got sleep last night. Excuse me, one second. I got some sleep last night, but I've been up all day. Again, staring at screens just because this election's been very intriguing to me. As of right now, when I am filming this on Thursday, November 5th at about 11 p.m., there's not been any call. It is very possible that basically Joe Biden has been inching closer to Trump for like a couple days now in Georgia and Pennsylvania, and it is very possible that he overtakes him in both of those states by next morning, early morning today. Don't know how you want to define that. Between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m., somewhere in there, it's very likely that we could potentially see Biden overtake Trump in Georgia. And once he does that, it's very unlikely that Trump retakes the lead, because basically all of the vote that is still out is in mostly Democratic counties, and even in counties that aren't Democratic, the mail-in vote still skews heavily towards, well, not heavily in some cases, but still skews more towards Biden than to Trump, because Trump basically told his supporters, hey, don't vote by mail, or voting by mail. He put out this message of like, oh, voting by mail is fraudulent, and it puts a negative connotation on it, so his supporters aren't going to vote by mail. Well, good job, dumbass. You just you took away, a very easy way for like seniors and or just discouraged a very easy, safe way for people to go vote, for your supporters to go vote. So, great job. But a real smart decision. But yeah, if he hadn't made such a big deal about it, could have been relatively tied. And if Democrats don't have a great ground game, don't get a bunch of turnout out today or on election day, maybe he's comes out on top and stays out on top. But no, he had to get his tinfoil hat on and imagine and create this enemy to defeat, or this straw man to knock down in mail-in voting, as if it's some evil thing that's ripe with fraud, and it's just not. But yeah, so it looks like the mail-in voting is going to come back to bite him in the ass in Georgia, and most likely in Pennsylvania as well. Some people actually think Pennsylvania is more likely than Georgia, and I can't disagree with that. My only thing is, yes, there's less vote left in Georgia. I think there's like 14,000 votes left to count in my recollection, and Biden's down like 1,800 or something like that, maybe 1,900. But again, most of that is in the suburbs of Atlanta and Savannah, which will go to Biden almost assuredly in a heavy 75-80% margin, which will give him the lead there. And same goes with Pennsylvania. So it's very possible that we know the winner by tonight. Now, both of those states could very well likely be within, Georgia will for sure. I'm not entirely sure about Pennsylvania, but they'll be within recount margins, so Trump campaign will probably ask for a recount, which is within their right to do so. But in terms of trying to get ballots thrown out and stuff like that, it's very very direct attack on one of the pillars of American democracy, is that you count the votes that are cast. If they're if they are sent in to be counted by election day, you count the votes that were cast. And the Trump campaign is so inconsistent that they're saying count the vote in Arizona and in Nevada where Biden has a lead, and it's possible that Trump catches up to Biden like Biden's doing to him in Pennsylvania and Georgia, and he's saying stop the vote or stop the count in Pennsylvania and Georgia. I mean, he's just a loser. I mean, that's, he's a loser. Like, I mean, it's just, it's no consistency, just flailing around. That's a perfect description of it. He's just doesn't know how to handle anything that doesn't say he's incredible. He doesn't get it. And right now, a majority of voters have voted for Joe Biden. And I am no fan of Joe Biden. I really am not, especially with what could very likely be, what very likely will be a Republican Senate. I don't think the guy is going to get anything done that I want him to get done. But the country has spoken, and a majority of the voting population, over 50%, and it's only going to grow once California gets all their votes in, once New York gets all their votes in. A majority of this country wanted to vote out Donald Trump. By that same token, in record turnout, by the way, like both sides, Trump got, I think, like 7 million more votes in this election than he did in 2016, which is insane that 7 more people voted for him. But that's the polarization of 2020. And it's going to be a really intriguing next 2 to 4 years, because you're going to have at least 2 years, maybe more, of a very likely divided government that may very well not get anything done, and it'll be interesting to see, for one, how heavily Joe Biden uses the power of the executive order, whether those executive orders stand up in court, which is another thing that it throws a wrench in it, and then just how it is framed to voters in the 2022 midterms and 2024 elections. Do they blame Biden and vote in a Republican or vote heavily for Republicans in 2022 and 2024, or do they blame McConnell and his ilk? Is that the way you use that word, ilk? I think I used it right. McConnell and his Senate majority, do they blame him and vote to give Biden more senators in 2022? I don't know. I don't know exactly how it's going to play out, but I'm intrigued. Intrigued nonetheless. So I don't have any updates as of now. Let me just make sure it didn't get called in the last 9 minutes that I've been filming this. I doubt it. Oh my goodness. Biden is within 0.04% of Trump in Georgia. And this isn't some trend that it goes up and down. No, once he catches Trump in Georgia, it's over. Well, it's not even over in that regard. Not even that Georgia's over. Trump cannot get to 270 electoral votes once Biden wins Georgia. When Biden wins Georgia, with all the states that have already been called, Biden has 269 electoral votes. Now, if he didn't win any of the remaining 3 states, which are Nevada, Arizona, and Pennsylvania, it would be a 269 tie. But like I said, he is very likely to win Pennsylvania, probably Nevada. Arizona's a little bit more in question. They're counting their votes very slowly. I shouldn't say that. I can't really judge it. I don't know what's going on in their counties. I don't, Nevada's the one that's really counting slowly. And I don't know what's going on, but it seems slow compared to the rest of the country. and compare it to Georgia and Pennsylvania. And so if Biden gets over the hump in Georgia by tonight, it's essentially over. Yes, it is possible that Trump could sweep the remaining 3 states. It's very unlikely. And even if he does, then it's essentially a tie in the Electoral College, and then it goes to the House, which is a whole mess. But Biden really, the best thing for the country at this point, with Trump being as divisive isn't even the right word, dangerous in his talk about how this election is being stolen, even though there is no credible evidence of that, let alone evidence of anything happening at remotely at any sort of a scale that would even come close to affecting the outcome of a local election, let alone the presidential result. Claiming that it's fake and that there's illegal votes, and if you count only the legal votes, then he wins. It's just, he's being a baby. Like I told my dad today, he is the most powerful baby that has ever existed. Like, you lost. He's the guy who, plays chess and loses in 5 turns, and flips up the chessboard, and he's like, "Well, that was bullshit. You cheated." And it's like, "No, you just didn't see the move that I pulled." And it's just I think I didn't finish my thought from earlier. You can tell I'm still tired. I need to go to bed tonight, and I'm not going to stay up to watch the rest of the results that come in. If I can be awake to see Biden overtake Trump in Georgia, I'll go to bed, because that'll be cool to see. Yeah, so the best thing for the country right now is for Joe Biden to sweep these remaining states. Finish him off in Georgia, finish him off in Pennsylvania, and hold on to Nevada and Arizona. He has been going down in Arizona. In Nevada, it has fluctuated. I just don't get Nevada because there's a lot of Democratic vote left in that state, in Clark County. Same with Arizona, but for some reason their mail-in drop-offs have skewed heavily Republican, even though that's not usually how it goes. In Arizona, that's how it goes, but that's just because they're a lot more used to voting by mail, I think. So yeah, the best thing for the country is Biden sweeps these remaining 4 states. Trump has no options to challenge this at all because he won so decisively. Biden won so decisively. If he sweeps the remaining states, he would get 306 electoral votes, which actually is the exact number that I predicted in my video a couple days ago. I don't mean to pat my back prematurely on this, but if things hold up the way that I think they're going to hold up, Biden wins Georgia, Pennsylvania, Arizona, and Nevada, I will have predicted all 50 states correctly. The only thing that I would have missed is I flipped the 2 congressional districts. I thought Biden would win Maine's 2nd and lose Nebraska's 2nd. He actually won Nebraska's 2nd and lost Maine's 2nd. But if it holds up like the scenario I just laid out, I would have nailed the electoral count and the all 50 states. Which, as part of that is luck. Like, the Georgia pick was a little bit luck, but I just had a feeling about Georgia. And, in my heart of heart, I really thought Biden was probably going to win Florida. I gave it to Trump in the end because the state had been trending red since 2016, and I didn't trust it, so I went ahead and gave it to Trump. But, I predicted it to go to him, so I don't know. I would really like to get all 50 states. I think that would be a cool not bragging chip, but like, I don't know, like at least I guess I know something about politics, at least how electoral politics work. Which, I mean, if we're being honest, it shouldn't matter who wins a state, because, I mean, at this point, about 3.5 million more people have voted for Joe Biden than Donald Trump, and, you know, in a truly fair and free election, you should probably give the election to who gets the most votes, but we won't talk about that right now. You know, at least it validates the amount of polls that I read, and the amount of election coverage videos I watched, at least a little bit. Even though the polls were, again, really wrong this election cycle, they weren't that wrong in they were more wrong in this cycle. It looks like. Now, it looks to me, and I haven't fully examined this, but it looks like they were more wrong in this cycle than they were in 2016. And that bugs the shit out of me, because they had 4 years to correct any issues, even though they might have been small issues, in the polls. They had 4 years to do it. And they didn't do it. They underestimated Trump again. I mean, they underestimated Republicans again. I mean, my God. I mean, Democrats might only pick up 1 seat in the Senate. And according to 538, they had a 74% chance to win the Senate. I mean, if you think 74% chance to win it, you would think what? You know, 95% chance to pick up 2 seats? Something like that. They needed to pick up 3 or 4. It's just, I don't know. You know, I'm rambling at this point. I need to end this video so I can eventually go to sleep. I hope you guys had a good day. And, yeah, we'll keep on watching these results. And when I know who's going to win, I will come on here and let you know, and talk about it a little bit. I'm noticing that I'm like so tired that I'm like slurring some of my words, and that's nothing but just delirium. Like, again, I slept, I think, decently last night. I don't honestly remember. I think I did. But like the past 2 days, I hadn't. But I need to get some sleep tonight because I have work tomorrow. I work 11 to 4, so yeah, I gotta let you guys go. It's been interesting covering this election, and you know, documenting my thoughts. I'm about to maybe edit tomorrow my actual election day vlog, which roller coaster of emotions during that day, I tell you. And again, like I talked about this, I think, in yesterday's vlog, like, I knew that it was going to be like that going into it, and I just let my emotions get the best of me, and I was like, oh my God, Biden's going to win Ohio by 5 points. What the hell's going on? Oh, Biden lost Ohio by 8 points. I guess we counted the mail-in ballots first, which made it appear like Biden had an 8-point, a 12-point lead with 40% of the vote counted, and then we counted the in-person votes, which heavily skewed towards Trump, and he ended up winning by 5 points. Oops, it looks like Trump's winning Michigan by 15 points. What in the world is going on? Oh, wait, Michigan counted their in-person votes first, which heavily favored Donald Trump, and then they eventually start to count the mail-in votes after that, which heavily favored Joe Biden, and Joe Biden actually was going to win the state of Michigan by like 3 points. Oh, right, yeah, you idiot. You knew that was going to happen the entire time, and still you let yourself get nervous. Good job. Anyway, hope you guys had a good day. Oh my God. I hope you guys had a good day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. I'm okay.